Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. live from the production truck somewhere in Mississippi. We look right, we look left. There's not many lights out here. There's not really much going on in the nightlife here in Mississippi. But we're here at the virtual Myrtle Beach. We're going to be doing 75 laps on the docket here tonight. And these guys have been putting on a heck of a show here on Wednesday night. Already went through qualifying, boogied on through some heat races, and we've got ourselves a starting lineup with 24 drivers getting ready to take that green flag here once again from Myrtle Beach for the Lightning Chassis 75. Everybody lined up behind the pace car, 2x2 all the way through, giving themselves an opportunity to get all the final checks on the virtual race cars, make sure those belts are tight and the wheels strapped on down to the desk. You don't want to let your turkeys get loose all over the desk like our buddy John Adams used to do back in the day when he used to be quick with the sim racing world. Taking a quick look at that lineup, though, Colton Martin going to get the pole in that number 4 car, the 12 car. Tony Quadro strong all season. He's going to roll off P2. Skylar Shippey still with that broken hand in that 51 car. He shipped it back in Slinger with that sling on his hand, and very, very quick. The 12 of Rodney Thompson up there in 4th. Kenny Thompson there in 5th. Aaron Thompson, lots of Thompsons in the field here tonight. In 6th, JD Stockwell, Keegan Tabor, Colin Penn, and Nate Wenzel going to round out the top 10. And once again, there are 24 drivers on the docket as that starting lineup scrolls across the screen there. We're getting ready to do 75 laps of battle here at the virtual Myrtle Beach. There you see green flag in the air. The flagman says it is time to go. That pace car driver is going to go down the safety of pit road, get that corn dog and a Coke, and watch himself a little bit of green flag racing here on VidaneTV. Got to thank you so much for tuning in here on a Wednesday night. Little holiday action going on the night before Thanksgiving here in the States. And, man, it's going to be cool to see all the racing action that's going on. Working a little go-kart racing this weekend out in Batesville, Mississippi. Be sure to check that out on Pit Road TV. Check that Friday and Saturday this evening. And before we get all the way there, though, we've got Tony Quadros in that 2nd position, or dropping back to that 3rd position, rather. Skylar Shippey showing that that hand seems like it's feeling okay because he's already moved himself into the 2nd position, all over the back bumper of that number 4 car. And we've seen this happen a time or 12 before with that 51. Already going to take a peek down low here on lap number 3 in that 51 car. See if he can get the lead out of 4. Not quite. A little bit of contact between he and the 4 car. Give that lap to the 4 car for the time being, but Shippey very, very strong on that bottom side of the racetrack here in Myrtle Beach, and he's been strong on the bottom the past couple of weeks here. We've seen that 51 car with a couple of podiums, a couple of wins, and really showing that he's got something. He's got a shot at this championship. Oh, Reckon 3rd place on behind. That's going to bring out the caution flag early in this one, and that looks like it stacked everybody up. Folks hard on the binders. That's one of those wrecks that looked a lot worse than it was. So that's definitely good news there. A couple of drivers involved, and of course the new replay machine doesn't want to cooperate with us here this evening. So unfortunately, we won't be able to take a look at that. But what we can definitely tell you is that's going to give Skylar Shippey the lead, as he was in front the time the caution flag came out. So new leader going to be the 51 car. The 4 car Colton Martin going to be there in behind. The 39 of Kenny Thompson has moved up to P3. Aaron Thompson got himself a race win in race number 2. He's up in the top 5, as well as JD Stockwell rounding out that 5th position. You can see everybody just lining right up behind that pace truck, and going to re-rack, restack, try it once again here at the virtual Myrtle Beach. You can see Tony Dumas going to come down pit road. A couple of other drivers coming down pit road there as well to potentially, I think it's a little too early to take tires, and definitely too early to put any fuel in these cars. So you got to wonder what kind of damage these guys picked up in that little bit of a wreck here. And when we saw in final practice here moments ago, place gets a little bit squirrely down on the bottom side, especially coming out of turn number 4. And as the fuel kind of burns off in the back end of these late models, or these street stocks rather, kind of loosens them up just a little bit and makes it a little bit more fun to drive. And that's why these guys have been putting on a show here for us on a Wednesday night. But you can see everybody else lined up behind that pace truck, lights still on with 69 laps to go. down the front straightaway. Should get the one to go this time by, and we'll get the order to get them all doubled up and fired off once again here. And there you see 2x2 all the way through behind that pace truck, and the lights are indeed out. So we're going to get another opportunity to take a shot at this one. And we've already seen these guys are pretty racy here in the street stocks at Myrtle Beach. It's going to be fun to watch the closing laps here in this one, and it'll be interesting to see if we get any kind of pit strategy that we've been seeing all week long here on VidaneTV. Lots of different strategies last night in the RBR Maritime Group. Super late model race. They put on a heck of a show. Be sure to check that out over on the Vidane page. But there you see pace trucks down on pit road, green flag flying once again, and great start there from Shippy down the bottom side of the 51 car. The 4 is there as well, drops back to that rear bumper, and he's got a mirror full. Now he's got a door full of that third place car, and that's going to be JD Stockwell moving that 45 car up into position. He's going to take that second spot. Now he's all the way up on the back bumper of the 51 as they cross the stripe. Side by side for second, side by side for third, side by side for about fifth on back, as these guys putting in a little bit of work, and that's exactly what that 51 car wants to see. Is he's kind of driving off into the sunset just a bit. It's 11 a.m. at the hotel. He is checked out. He is clear by 7 as they are still side by side for that second spot. Colton Martin holding on to it right now, but JD Stockwell all over the back bumper, getting the sheet metal a little bit more green on the back of that 4 car. Kyle DeMoss in the 15 car side by side as well. He's got a little bit more of a challenge in the back. He's got Keaton Tabor and a Colin Penn back there as well. Those guys are side by side, putting on a show here at Myrtle Beach. And these guys know that, it's the night before Thanksgiving. Everybody's home. Everybody's breaking out the eggnog. And they know that we want to put on a show here for the fans watching at home. And once again, thank you so much for tuning in here on a Wednesday night. We're live all over the internet. We're trying to take over, as we've been saying for the past 4 or 5 years, over on the Facebook page, over on the YouTube page. We're live on Twitch, and we're live on Twitter as well. So be sure to give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff. Let your friends and family know, let your neighbor's dog know, let everybody know on the street that you're watching a little bit of iRacing action here on a Wednesday night, and especially being a holiday weekend. There's got to be some pies cooking out there in the kitchen. Maybe I guess the turkey doesn't get cooked until tomorrow, but in any sense, there's got to be some desserts, some sides, some biscuits. There's got to be something you can get out there and snack on while we're getting these guys to do a little battle here for us on a Wednesday night. Skylar Shippey still up front, and that 4 car, Colton Martin, there as well. The 3 cars front 3 cars have kind of broken away just a little bit of breathing room in behind that 45 car, back to 4th. Check in just a little bit further on back, just outside the top 10. They're getting a little bit slicey, a little bit dicey. Everybody up front kind of single file right now, logging a couple laps. You don't want to log too many laps. It's only a half-mile track, and we got 75 on the docket, so it goes relatively quickly here at the virtual Myrtle Beach, especially once we get these drivers into a rhythm. And once they get into a rhythm, they really get that momentum going. It's I don't want to say it's game over at that point, but it's game over at that point. As you can see, the 16 car getting attacked by the 37 of Joey Frazier. That was actually the quickest lap of the race so far, was going to be that 37 car on that lap. So putting in the work here as we're about 17, 18 laps in as we cross the stripe. Still Skylar Shippey up in the front. Colton Martin, JD Stockwell, the top 3 as they run. And you can see the front, Shippey is shipped out. He's gone. He's out there by 5-6 car lengths. Everything looking good for that 51 car. Second on back to 5th, almost 6th place. They're all about single file there. You can see JD Stockwell right up the back bumper now of the number 4 car. A little side-by-side action in there behind for that 6th position. The 59 of Colton Hall there as well. Kyle Dumas in the 15 car. They're up in the mix, and as we look through the rest of the top 10, the 8th position going to go to the number 3 of Dominic Lafleur. The 1 car there of Sean Boudreau is going to be in the 9th position, and we saw that 16 car of Dylan Zulo making some moves earlier on. He has broken his way into the top 10, so that 16X is going to be very, very quick here when it gets on in to the closing laps of this one. And you can see as we get further and further into the race, Skylar Shippey is he's pulling away. He's got himself 6-7 car lengths now behind him. He's got some breathing room up in front. Doesn't really have to worry about lap traffic just yet. 24 cars started the race. As we take a look at the Wingnut Productions timing and scoring, 22 cars on the lead lap. That last one being the 77 of Garrett Benson. Not quite up to speed with the rest of the field, having some issues with the handling on that car, but everything else looking A-OK, except for that yellow flag. Yellow flag number 2 going to fly here at the virtual Myrtle Beach. And it's always fun to tell when we can almost always tell when the drivers are watching the broadcast from inside the virtual sim rigs because, well, we just mentioned that 77 car of Garrett Benson, and he was the caution. Pointed in the wrong direction, a little bit of sheet metal damage up on the front of that car. You can bet that 77 car is going to come down to the attention of his crew, get some of that virtual sheet metal kind of banged out, and see what he can do in the final 54 laps or so. Going to be about 50 laps once we take the green flag once again and get that restart. But it looks like we might have a timing and scoring issues. We're showing the 16 of Dylan Zulo as the leader, but I don't believe that's accurate. Indeed it is. It looks like we might have had some pit stops. Handful of pit stops, as a matter of fact. So that's going to mix things up in a big way. We'll let everybody cross through the stripe and find out exactly where everybody's going to line up. But how about it? That 16 car is going to be inheriting the lead. Anthony Belfour there in second. Nate Wenzel, Rodney Thomas, and Garrett Benson up into fifth. So Benson going to call me a liar. That 77 car is going to stay out there and get a little track time up in the top 5. Skylar Shippey, the first car off pit road in that 51 car. And it looks like there's a handful of drivers that are going to get trapped on pit road, as it takes a long time to get tires on these street stocks. Anybody that's been to a racetrack knows that a street stock team's not quite as quick as a NASCAR Cup team or any of the top 3 touring divisions. So you see the 16 is going to come down pit road as well. Nate Wenzel, Anthony Belfour. So everybody that hasn't come down pit road going to come down, well, maybe not. 3 cars going to stay out there. At that point, it looks like we might have a blown motor down there on pit road. So differing strategies may very well just be one of those deals where drivers are just waiting to see who else is going to come down pit road and see if they can take 4 tires without going down a lap. As you can see, a couple of other drivers getting trapped a lap down here. Once we get going green, it's going to look like 14, maybe 15 cars, on the lead lap, and that's gonna shake things up quite a bit. As we're lap 25, 50 to go here at Myrtle Beach. Coming out of turn number 4, lights still on the iRacing Pace truck. Going to get the 1 to go this time by from the flag man. We're going to line them up 2 by 2, and we're going to try and restack them, re-rack them, and get them shot once again. And you can see it's go time. These guys got 25 laps in. We had a couple of quick cautions. Nothing too crazy. It gives these drivers kind of an opportunity to feel themselves out a little bit. And we had just about everybody, if not everybody, come down under this caution. So that's going to get everybody enough fuel to get to the end of it. Don't believe they've got more than 1 set of tires down on pit road for this race. So I think at this point you've kind of got what you've got, and you got to race it out for the final 50 laps or so and hope you've got enough for any green-white checkered attempts that we may have in this one. Green flag flies once again. New leader Nate Wenzel in the 03 car. Great restart, able to pull away by just a little bit, but they're side by side for second. The 51 car of Shippey is there. 4 car of Colton Martin jumping on down to the bottom side. The 12 car of Rodney Harton up on the top side. They're side by side, almost 3 wide as they get in 2, 1, and 2 there for that 3rd position. They get it all sorted back out to 2 by 2 all the way through. And once again, it's one of these momentum tracks, a short little half-mile racetrack where once you kind of get into the rhythm, get into the groove, you're able to really knock off some laps here. And they go pretty quick. They're about 20 and a half seconds, 21 seconds or so, depending on the tires and what have you. And it looks like there might be a connection issue there for the 51 of Shippey, as that's going to send the timing and scoring into a little bit of a tizzy, but we got her all sorted out here, and Nate Wenzel still holding on to the lead in that 03 car. Throughout the field, pretty much single file as we do a little parade action there. There's Shippey taking a look on the high side. He's going to take a shot down on the bottom and see if he's going to potentially clear the 03 car. Not quite. Wenzel slams the door on the front nose of the 51 car. Give the lap to the 03, but with 45, 46 laps to go in this one, Shippy's been strong all season long in that 51 car, and he's been doing it with a broken hand. And even though these aren't real race cars, you still have the motions of steering as the caution flag flies once again for some issues in the back of the pack, it looks like. We'll get them all re-racked and restacked once again. Skylar Shippy dropping back to that second spot after leading a couple of laps. Had a couple of pit stops, a couple of strategy moves in this one. Wenzel holding on to the lead. Martin there in third. Shippy once again there in the second spot. You can see he's already up on the high side here under caution. He kind of wants to get going. Wants to get to the end of this one. 44 laps to go. Going to get that restart, probably 40 laps or so to go, and he wants to get up there. Definitely wants to get a race win, but it's one of those deals where you're kind of doing good in points. You know, I believe he came in with a 4-point lead last week coming into the points battle and won the race with a broken hand. So Shippy showing why he's boss here in that 51 car, running good here tonight, qualified up front, running in the second position. Nate Wenzel in the 03 car having a fantastic pit stop to put him up towards the front, up in the front, as a matter of fact, in that number one spot. Colton Martin, Keegan Tabor, and Rodney Huntoon going to round out the top five. So a couple of quick cautions here in the first 20 or 30 laps or so, and giving these drivers an extra lap or two under caution to kind of think about it, put the game plan together. And, you know, we made mention, we kind of took the pit strategy out of it, threw it out the window. We came down, we got tires, we got fuel, we got enough to make it the final 50 laps or so, down to almost 40 laps at this point once we get the green flag there after this third quick caution. And what we've seen so far with these is nothing too crazy, as these drivers have been putting on a pretty good show here for us. A couple of drivers coming off pit road and getting relined up and trying to get lined up 2 by 2. The lights are still on that pace truck, so should be getting the one to go this time by, and we'll let her eat. We'll get some green flag racing in and get the Lightning Chassis 75 in the books for this one, just about to that halfway marker here at the virtual Myrtle Beach. And a couple of drivers we made mention under those pit stops have put themselves a lap down as we look at timing and scoring here. Everybody 16th on back has been trapped a lap down. Joey Frazier, DJ Gerard, Kyle DeMoss, Jackson Davis, Jeremiah Sargent, and Eric Lurendu going to be all trapped one lap down because they took a little bit too long there on the pit stops, and the pace car came on by. And speaking of pace truck rather, put $1 in the jar. He's going to dip on down to the safety of pit road once again. Going to leave these drivers 2 by 2 all the way through, and they're going to come underneath the flag stand once again. Slow start, late start, but a good start for the 03 of Wenzel. He's going to get the jump on Shippy. Shippy's going to jump down to the bottom side, though. He might have room to kick the door open. Nope, he's going to go back up on the high side and try and make that high side work as the 4 car is going to jump down to the bottom side. 03's got a mirrorful. He's got 2 cars gunning for that position, and he's doing everything he can to hold off to him. But man, oh man, the 51 is very, very strong on that high side. Slip sliding around in a big way for the 51. They're 3-4 wide on back for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and on back to 8th. We're side by side. Oh no, Chippy broke. Something happened to that 51 car. He way off the pace. He goes up to the outside wall. The 4 car gets down and around, and then the 51 kind of jumps back on the bottom like nothing happened. So big wiggle there for the 51. Issues in the Shippy camp, and then the caution flag going to fly once again, and we are stacking them up here at Myrtle Beach. I guess we're not really stacking them up. There's a couple of cars towards the back, but not ideal. It does give these guys an opportunity to potentially come down, maybe get some of that virtual sheet metal fixed up, but all in all, I think we're all done with the pit stops, and these drivers just want to get to that checkered flag and want to get a little bit of a green flag run to kind of stretch their legs out a little bit and see what all these cars have and what the drivers have for sure. As you can see, the 03 of Wenzel still holding on to the lead. The number 4 car there in second, driven by Colton Martin. Skylar Shippey still holding on to third. JD Stockwell, Colin Penn going to be the top 5 as they run. Rodney Huntoon, Keegan Tabor, Justin Prescott, Anthony Bellafor, and Colton Hull going to be the top 10. And as we made mention, this caution going to give one driver the free pass. That's going to be the big boss man here in the Turn 4 Podcast Winter iRacing League. DJ Gerard and the Double Op Machine going to get that free pass. And that'll give us 17 drivers on the lead lap. And what that tells me in short track racing is realistically, there's 17 drivers that could potentially win this race. It's going to be a tall order to get around the 03, the 4. Those guys have been fast all night long, especially that 51. He's been showing speed all season long in that 51 car. And it's still one of the crazy things. We've mentioned it probably a dozen times or so already on the show here tonight, but he did it with a broken hand. Literally one slinger with his hand in a sling. Put the sling in slinger, as it were. And as a marketing guy, I feel like those T-shirts sell themselves. I'll take my 10% by check for sure. But in any sense, light still on the pace truck. Should be getting that one to go this time by. And we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're about 2/3 into this one, just shy of it. And that's when these drivers know it's time to go. They get down to maybe 20 or so laps, and as we get closer down to the single digits, these guys really start to kind of burn the wick at both ends, burn the candle at both ends of the wick, however the saying goes. They put on a show. They put on a heck of a show here for us Wednesday night. You can check back all the races on demand over on the YouTube page, just youtube.com/VidaneTV/live. There's over 600 broadcasts up there from the past 4 to 5 years. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share, all that good stuff, and do a little searching. You might not, you never know who you're going to find on a VidaneTV broadcast. We had Randy the Plumber up on here a couple of times. We did some races with Butterbean McQueen and all sorts of big names kind of popping on in and saying hello and doing the thing that we like to do here, and that's entertaining the masses here on VidaneTV. But we should be getting the one to go this time out of 4. The pace truck giving everybody a wave up there in the stands, packed stands here in the virtual Myrtle Beach, and there you see it. Going to line them up 2 by 2 all the way through. 1 to go here, going to get the restart with 31 laps to go here in the Lightning Chassis 75, 2 by 2 all the way through. They're all chasing the 03 and the 4. There goes the pace truck down to the safety at pit road once again. And this is a lot of fun to watch the 03 car because Wenzel's really, really good on these restarts. And if you've noticed the past 2 or 3, he's done something different each time. Last time he started late. Well, this time he's going to make a liar out of me, and he's going to start late again. But whatever he did, it worked. The 03 pulls away by just enough. He's going to clear the 4 car, and that's going to give the 4 an opportunity. Well, not really an opportunity. That's going to give him a mirror full of the 51. Now it's going to give him a door full of the 51. Little 3-wide action once again in behind from 6th, 7th place on back. But they still keep it clean, keep it green as we get on around. Going to cross the stripe. 30 laps to go at the line. Shippey's still in the bottom of that 4 car, trying to get around for that second position. Made mention things are going to pick up in a big way, and as we take a look at the timing and scoring, just taking a look, there was only about a couple of hundredths of a second between those top 3 drivers on the last lap time. So hammer down in a big way. Still chasing that 03 car of Wenzel. Skylar Shippey there in second. Colton Martin in third. Colin Penn and JD Stockwell the top 5 as they run. Don't count that 45 car out of Stockwell. That's that bright black and green machine there in 5th place. JD's been quick all season long here as well. Got caught up in a couple of minor incidences outside of his doing, but still able to show that 45 car's got a lot of speed, and the 51 going to take a glimpse now up on the high side, and the 4 car sees he's going to go high, so he's getting ready to set up his move down low, and these guys know it is absolutely time to go. Getting down to the closing laps to this one, getting close to it anyway, as we see 26 laps to go on the timing and scoring. Wenzel's still up front in the 03 car. The front 10, maybe 11 cars, single file. There's another shot by the 51. Just kind of kick the screen door open a little bit, just to feel it out, see what it kind of felt like, and didn't like how the car felt right there, so he tucked it back into the tire tracks once again. He ran a couple of laps, and here comes the 4 car. He's going to take a shot down on the bottom side of the 51 of Shippey. That's exactly what the 03 of Wenzel wants to see, because he sees that 4 car charging the 51 very, very hard, pushing him up the track just a little bit, and that's what you want to see when you're the leader. They're going to sort it back out. They're single file once again. They know that they've got to let the faster one try and get up and get to that 03 car, but between the 51, between the 4, I'm not sure which one's quicker. Both guys putting on a heck of a show here for us, and they're still both trying to get around the 03 of Wenzel. So got to keep an eye on those top 3. If for one reason or another those guys make some kind of mistake, as we've seen it happen before here on VidaneTV, that's going to open up the door in a big way for that JD Stockwell machine back there in 5th, or how about the 52 there of Colin Penn quietly rolling around there in the 4th position. But they are nose to tail. Oh, big wiggle for the 03 car. 51 gets up there, gives him a little bit of a Teddy Christopher bump, gets him up out of the way, and no harm, no foul, no damage on the 03, but that's frustrating. He's going to get a little bit of an opportunity to try and tuck down on the bottom side. No issues there. He's going to slide back into the bottom side, and with that pass, another big slide from the 03 car. They're going to go 3 wide for 3rd. JD Stockwell all the way down on the bottom of the racetrack, and they are going to get it sorted out by turn number 1. The 03 going to drop a spot. The 45 going to pick up 2. And oh, by the way, we got a new leader. It's that 51 car of Skylar Shippey. Taking a look at the timing and scoring, we can see these drivers have lost about a half a second or so a lap on these tires. It's been about 50 laps or so since they've come down to get those fresh tires. You can see Shippey still holding on to it. The 4 car trying to take a peek down low. Nothing quite there yet. So he's going to tuck into the tire tracks once again. JD Stockwell, he's in that 3rd spot. He doesn't have much breathing room in behind him. He's got a little ways to go to try and catch back up to those front 2, but he's got a mirror full of the battle for 4th on behind him. The 03 car trying to make a little magic happen up on the high side. You see he gets right up to the back bumper of the 45, gives him a little bit of a nudge just to let him know he's there, and he's going to send him on around. That was a lot more than a nudge. And that's definitely going to bring out the caution flag, I would assume. Nothing yet. 19 laps to go. We're still green. Keep an eye on that black flag. I don't know. I don't want to say it was intentional, because we didn't see it, but that didn't look too good. Green flag, though, still out there. Less than 20 laps to go, and they are chasing down the top 2. Skylar Shippey holding on to it. Colton Martin there in 2nd. Nate Wenzel, now the new 3rd place driver, as he gave that JD Stockwell machine a little bit of a bumpski and sent him on around, and no caution. So that's big news for the 45 camp, and that's about the luck's what the luck's been for JD Stockwell this season. That's gonna there's a caution flag. That's gonna bring the yellow flag out. See if we can take a peek towards the back of the pack and find out who may or may not be pointed in the wrong direction. And well, there you see the 90 car is off the pace and very broken. There is something very much amiss with that left front. You can see he's barely getting down on the pit road. He's going to find himself a stall and probably park that thing for the evening. There you go. It's a tough break, but could have been a whole lot worse. Could have gathered up a whole bunch of cars in at that one. Luckily, everything A-okay. We're going to get re-racked, restacked, and now it's go time. We're going to get that restart. Probably about 14, maybe 13 laps to go here in this one at the virtual Myrtle Beach for the Lightning Chassis 75. And we've made mention, these guys have been putting on some great racing here for us on VidaneTV on Wednesday nights. And again, shoot over to the YouTube page, shoot over to the Facebook page. We've got all those races and more on demand. We're going to be getting into a lot of cool stuff in the 2025 calendar year, just kind of jamming some ideas and making things happen and doing the best stuff. got to give a shout out to the Penguin in Chief, Tony Stevens. He's watching well from the driver's seat of the pickup truck. They I guess they demolished. I've never actually been here in real life, so I guess this place doesn't actually exist anymore. So that's one of the cool things with iRacing. Kind of gives you the memories if you did race here, if you went here as a young kid or a teenager, or even as an adult, being able to hop onto the sim rig, finish up your English homework, and then jump on the old sim rig and race at a track that no longer actually physically exists. So kind of neat, very cool little idea, and always kind of fun to be able to do that, crossing the bridge there between real racing and sim racing. And you can always count on Tony for those tidbits of information, especially if it's about a racetrack, because he's been at a racetrack a time or two, or 12 today. We're on our way to a racetrack right now, as a matter of fact. Gonna get the one to go lights off on the iRacing pace truck. He's gonna get that last corn dog, that last Coke down there in the six pack on pit road, and he's gonna let these drivers do their thing. And nope, just kidding. We're gonna take one more around. He's gonna leave the lights on and make sure we get the sailboat fuel out of turn number 4 there. But Skylar Shippey gonna be the leader. It looks like the 4 car of Colton Martin's gonna be in second, Nate Wenzel third. Keegan Tabor and Colin Penn going to be the top 5. Handful of drivers still on pit road. And as we take a peek, Kenny Thompson's going to get the free pass this time around. So that puts us back with 16 cars on the lead lap. 13 laps to go. We should get the 1 to go this time. Lights should go out. You can see the 4 and the 51. They already want to get going. They're side by side. There they go. Lights out on the pace truck. Going to get the restart with 11 laps to go here at Myrtle Beach. Lightning Chassis 75. It's been lightning quick so far this evening, and this is going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch these final closing laps and see who's going to come home with the checkered flag. And it's not over till we're over, and we've seen some crazy things here on VidaneTV the past couple of weeks, especially with these Turn 4 podcast guys here on Wednesday night. But a new front row, they're going to get the green flag there. There you see the safety truck down on pit road. Waiting for it. Green flag once again, and they are deadlocked as they cross the stripe, heading on down into one door handle to door handle between the 51 and the 4 car. Shippey, though, gets the advantage down on the bottom side. The 03, big wiggle once again, unassisted that time. The 4 car, he's going to take a peek down low. The 03 car is going to force him down into that hole. This is getting good. Almost 3 wide. Big wiggle there for the 4 car after the push from Wenzel and the 03. These guys, everybody from 6th on back feels like they've got a shot to win this race, maybe even further back, because they are beating and banging there. You see the orange and green car getting a little bit sideways, getting a little bit slideways. 3 wide as they battle it out for just outside the top 5. All in the meantime, they are chasing down Skylar Shippey, or trying to chase down Skylar Shippey, but he's pulling away. There you see him. He's got that clean air, really likes the clean air on the front of the front nose of the 51 car, and he's looking in the rearview mirror and he's liking what he's seeing, because the 03 and the 4, they were side by side that time. They think better of it that time they get it all sorted out. The 4 tucks into the tire tracks. We cross the stripe. It's going to be 8 laps to go. Front 3 single file, side by side for 4th. Great shot there from behind or just to the left of the flag, man. Kind of up and high there. You can see kind of single file throughout the field. JD Stockwell a little bit further on back in that bright green machine, trying to make up some ground. Got a little bit of a bump there from the 03 car, sent him on around. Didn't quite get the track position back that he wanted, so that's a tough break there. But we're going to cross the strike. Six laps to go this time for Shippey, and you can see he's pulling away ever so slightly. About 6/10 of a second is the gap on back to that 03 car. And once again, the 03 and the 4, they've been side by side, beating and banging on each other. Caution flag going to fly once again here with 6 laps to go. And we can tell you that was for Kenny Thompson in the 39 car, already calling for the tow truck. Tough break for the 39. Just got that free pass to get back on the lead lap under that last caution, and unfortunately found himself pointed in the wrong direction. And that's one of those funny rules about racing, whether it's in sim racing or real racing. You got to be pointed in the right direction to be scored. Well, I guess not necessarily. As long as the transponder crosses at one point or another, you should be fine. I mean, Carl Edwards crossed the start-finish line on his feet, so that's got to count for something, right? Nothing? Nobody? Bueller? Field already antsy. They know they've got less than 5 laps to go. They've got less than 4 laps to go once we take this green flag. They're already trying to stack themselves up side by side, 2 by 2, all the way through. But the lights are still on the iRacing pace truck, so going to give it a lap. They'll get the 1 to go, I believe, this time by, and that's going to give us, what do they call that, a natural green-white checker? There comes the free pass car. That's going to give us 17 cars on the lead lap. Nope, back down to 16 because the 39 car has indeed parked it. So crossing the stripe, there you see the lights off on the iRacing pace truck. Everybody's already lined up 2 by 2. They want to get going and finish this one out with a bang. Hopefully not too big of a bang, though, because that's how things get broken. Lights back on in the iRacing pace truck, so we'll take 1 more lap around here, and that'll give us an actual green-white checkered attempt. Little extra distance here for the sponsor on board here tonight. The Lightning Chassis 76, 77. We shall see. We'll find out together here at Myrtle Beach. But there you can see everybody's ready to rock and roll. Once again, lined up 2 by 2 all the way through. And turns 3 and 4. This should be the 1 to go for the iRacing pace truck. Should cut those lights off and give everybody the thumbs up and let them know it's time to go once again. And there you see the rolled up flag from the flagman. 1 lap to go. Lights out in the pace truck. Everybody's already lined up, ready to rock and roll. You can see they're kind of getting antsy towards the back of the pack. They're trying to line themselves up 3 wide, but that doesn't quite work under caution. You got to be green flag to get that to count. Shippy down the bottom side, Wenzel up on the high side. You can bet that 03 car remembers when he got that boot, got him a little bit squirrely. He was very aggressive there on that last restart. That 4 car very strong as well. This is going to be a doozy. 2 laps to go when we cross the stripe. Late start once again. But Shippy's been doing exactly what he's been doing all season long, and there you see he already clears by about a car length, 2 car lengths as they get on into 1. The 03 going to check up just a bit, try and kind of diamond off that corner, but not quite. 3 wide there, back for third. They sorted on back to 2 wide, 2 by 2 by 2, it looks like, from third on back. The 03 car going to take a shot down to the bottom side. I don't think he's going to use that brake pedal too much. Car up to the outside wall, cars around in the back. White flag, a white rag, 1 lap to go in the Lightning Chassis 75. Shippy has it for now, but Wenzel is there. Wenzel slips just a little bit in the 03 car. That might be the race. As you can see, he's going to have himself a mirror full of the number 4 car. The 03 stuck on the high side. The race going to be for second. The checkered flag going to go to the 51 car of Skylar Shippy, winning himself another race with a broken hand. And we'll take a look at the finishing results here for the Lightning Chassis 75. Not going to be able to talk to any of these drivers here after the show, but we will indeed talk to the top 3 before next week's show. We'll do a little pre-race show. We'll come on the air early and have ourselves a little bit of fun. I had a blast here tonight. Skylar Shippy coming home with another win here tonight. Nate Wenzel, Colton Martin going to be the top 3 on the podium. You can see the 51 car burning him down. He's getting really good at those burnouts, and I know the crowd's going crazy because there are a lot of 51 fans out in the mix. Justin Prescott, Aaron Thompson going to round out the top 5. Colin Patton, Dylan Zulo, Colton Hull, Jackson Davis, and Rodney Huntoon going to be the top 10. That's going to do it here for us tonight. Be sure to tune in to Pit Road TV all weekend long. We've got some kart racing going on out in Batesville, Mississippi. We're actually almost there. I'm getting excited. We've been in this truck forever, I feel like. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks so much for being here. We'll catch you on the flip side. When we do, we will be doing it live.